What's up, and welcome back to another kind of funny screencast trailer reaction where I, Tim Gettys, aka Joe Hendry, because it is Halloween as we're recording this, so I do look a little different, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Everyone's for years, Raj, said that I'm blonde. Well, this is what that looks like when it's platinum intense. Wow. Okay, everybody. But you know, Marvel just announced a new slate of content for 2025. It was supposed to come out with the Agatha All Along finale. This was supposed to be the little like commercial that plays beforehand, but it leaked a little bit early, so a ton of people watched it. I have not yet watched it. I wanted to wait to actually live react to it. Of course, you know, I would say at this point, easily the biggest MCU fan at Kind of Funny. There's still some people, and if I'm being real, I'm hearing some whispers of the way people are talking about Agatha All Along, and I'm like, I think we're getting some people back, and I'm starting to feel really, really good about that. But I'm excited to see what they have in store for us, mainly on the Disney Plus side. I know there's a lot of projects they've been working on. I do know a couple of things that they're going to show in this, but I haven't seen the footage. So this will be my first reaction to all of that. So I'm excited for that. After I react to the trailer, we'll do a breakdown. So if you're an audio listener, just hang out. I promise you it's not going to be too visual focused for this. This is mainly an excuse for me to just talk about my thoughts about the state of the MCU with where we're at currently and looking forward at kind of the next couple months and then next year to look at what we have coming up. So I'm very excited. Of course, this is the Kind of Funny screencast. This goes live now on the Kind of Funny in Review podcast feed. So if you're wondering why you're seeing this going forward, anytime we do a screencast, it will be on the In Review free feed. We're just trying to condense how many podcast feeds that we have. I look freaking cool. I look a lot cooler than I was giving myself credit for, Raj. There we go. I believe everybody. But I want to give a shout out, of course, to the Kind of Funny members out there. You get the shows ad free for a whole bunch of them. You get watch live as we record them. You get the daily exclusive Greg Ways. You can also be a Patreon producer like Drummer Boy, Casey Andrew, James Hastings, Nathan Lamoth, or Carl Jacobs. With that all out of the way, I want to get right into it and react to this Marvel Disney Plus trailer.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Minute and 52 seconds.
I brought you here to offer you an opportunity.
Oh, I smell what you're stepping in.
Great.
It's gonna get good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're seeing Spidey.
It's been some time, hasn't it?
Back, baby. Oh, yeah.
Come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree. Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? A really good one.
Miss Marvel's dad.
Miss me.
Oh! I want to build
Don't like that. Don't like the look of that.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything
Like the look of
iconic
this.
in life has had to do some questionable
That looks
things
great
to get it done.
for a Disney Plus show with this much VFX.
For an adventure?
Final season.
The battle they will sing about for ages.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man.
Didn't you expect to see this?
I was born to play this character.
And we both have a lot riding on this.
Trevor Slattery, baby.
Not mess this up.
I know.
I am ready.
I am Marvel Jesus.
We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my God!
Okay, we got dates there. Oh my God, so many. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that was hot. All right, I loved that last like 30 seconds. That was great. That's the type of stuff I love to see. Raj, can we just start there? Can we go towards the end? And I want to just kind of go thing by thing here. So this year, we got Deadpool and Wolverine November 12th. Cool, that makes sense coming to Disney Plus. That's right in line with how the releases have been going. What if season 3, the final season, December 22nd? So to me, that says they're going to release this the same way they did season 2 last year. Must have been last year, where every day starting on December 22nd, they're going to release one episode throughout the little holiday break, which I thought was a really fun release strategy for that because it kind of gave me something to look forward to every day, a little bite-sized 20-minute little thing, but also it completing the story that What If's been kind of setting up. I'm looking forward to, because while I think the show's getting better, it's still on the weaker side of all the MCU offerings. But I really liked the finale of season 2, so I'm hopeful for this. And there's been a lot of rumors of what some of the storylines are going to be, and we'll have to look back because that was really fast. But I think we saw Blade in there for a second, which would be great. And there's been rumors that Storm is going to be featured as well, so that's very cool. All right, so moving to 2025. Because wait, hold on. Before we even get there, just think in 2024, we had Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was the only MCU movie this year. Besides that, we had Echo in the beginning of the year as a show. We had X-Men 97 as part of the Marvel animation side of things, and then Agatha All Along obviously is wrapping up now, or wrapped up last night. We're going to be doing a review on Friday for that. So movie-wise, not much happening this year, but obviously it was like a major win with Deadpool and Wolverine. So now, cool, 2025. Starting off January 29th. So, okay, we're about to get Marvel Animation like back-to-back with What If Season 3 ending, going right into your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't have much info on this in terms of like expectations of, is it a weekly drop or is it all at once or daily or something. I imagine this one will be week to week, without going back to it now, because we can talk about that later. I did not like what I saw from this, just from the quick little glimpse. Like the animation, I'd go as far as saying turned me off.
Oh, really? I liked it.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it.
And Raj, I feel like you and I have oftentimes been on different sides of how we feel about the animation quality of things, or art style is probably a better term for it. But X-Men 97 was another one where when we first saw the concept art, it was like, oh, wow, this is very in line with the original show. And then when we started seeing some things in motion, it was like, oh, no, they're doing the like Ruby, like 3D CG stuff, and this isn't working. But then the final product, I was in love with. Like,
I think that this one leans so heavily into like the CG aspect of it that I'm fine with it. I think that was the turn off initially for X-Men, because it was like, oh, it's 2D. Oh no, wait, no, it's definitely CG, and I like my brain couldn't like get around it during those trailers. But in motion, it was great. So yeah, I think I'm fine with this. But yeah, we'll go back into it. We'll talk more.
It was amazing though to see X-Men in motion in the actual show. I loved it. I thought it was so authentic to the 90s style, but in a way that can allow for, you know, a more modern timeline of animation, but on top of that, way more intricate movement in terms of just action, fight scenes, like moving around. So I thought that was a great call. But what's interesting here is the concept art we've seen of this. This seems to be completely giving up on. Like the concept art we first saw of this, that was originally called Spider-Man freshman year, that was straight up like OG Spider-Man comic style, where it was like, you know, 60s art style. And this doesn't look like that at all. So we'll talk about that later to see what's going on, because it does remind me, not in a good way, of the original CG Spider-Man
show.
No,
not the MTV
the
one.
The MTV one with Neil Patrick Harris.
Not that bad. Have you went back to it recently? Because I have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. But I'm getting the vibes there, which scares me. But anyways, moving on from here, Daredevil Born Again.
Wow, oh my gosh.
March 4th. I mean, I'm excited.
When did they reboot this? When did they have the moment where they're like, hey, we're going to reshoot all this stuff?
That's the problem, Raj. There's been so many shakeups, whether it's the pandemic or the writer's strikes or just Marvel movies not performing great or people assaulting other people and getting in trouble. Like, there's just been so much shit getting in the way of everything Marvel that I don't know. And I don't know that we'll ever know the actual details. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of info out there, but all I know is looking at this, it feels right. And I feel like it's theirs to lose if they fuck this up. This I think has a lot riding on it, where a lot of the Disney Plus shows so far, you know, there was like some initial wins, and I feel like the majority of people I know, it's not a guarantee, even if they're an MCU fan, that they're going to watch these shows. So I think that this is the one to kind of turn that around. The front and center Marvel Television logo of it all, like I think that they know what they have here. They know that this being a bit more mature, that there's a different audience, and also rabid audience that has expectations of this storyline. seeing Fisk there running for mayor and all that stuff. That's what I want to see. So I'm real high on this. Punisher being back. Like, this is just, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. The October 11th, 2023 was when they released the writers and the directors, and they started rebooting the entire show. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a quick turnaround. Honestly, I was like, kind of like, oh man, if we see this at the end of next year, that's kind of a miracle. But the fact that they made it happen, that's crazy.
Well, so that's the thing, though. And again, this is the stuff that we'll have to see as we get more information. But if I remember correctly, it was going to be an 18-episode season of Daredevil. And it now seems like that is no longer the case. So I think that whatever this is, I expect it to be a shorter season. To kind of keep up with all that. So I think they're splitting it into two, which I probably think is the right call for that type of timeline.
Yeah, for sure.
But it looks great.
Yeah. Let's,
March 4th though. Okay, great.
Oh, sorry. There it is.
And then Ironheart right after that, or not that far after that, June 24th. This is another one I'm expecting, probably a 6-episode series. Definitely will be a weekly release. This one's been in the cooker for a long time, which I think when you think about how VFX heavy it is, that makes sense. Because obviously it's like an Iron Man suit essentially. So I'm surprised at how good it looked there, like just the quality of it. I don't know how hyped I am on this. Like, I mean, actually I do. I'm not. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Ironheart comics aren't good. And I mean, at least the initial ones weren't. I don't know if there's been a good run of them, but please let me know in the comments if there has been one. I don't think so. But clearly MCU has done so many different things with the characters, and even Riri's introduction in Wakanda Forever, very different than her normal origin. So they could go somewhere cool with this, but I'm a big Anthony Ramos fan as well, which I know for some reason these days isn't a popular take, but I like him. So him as the Black Hood, I think his name is. I'm excited for that little magic and mysticism going on.
That's the part that I'm so interested in it, because it's like when I see Ironheart, I just never associate it with like mysticism. Maybe that's how it is in the comics, but like as just like an outsider, it's kind of interesting to me. Like that's the take that they're going for, like the villain of the show.
Totally. And also I shouted this out during the reaction, but in Daredevil we see Kamala Khan's dad.
So cool.
That's cool.
Cool.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
All right. After Ironheart. All right. Eyes of Wakanda. This one is interesting too. So August 6th. I did not expect to get this many release dates. I think that it's very smart of them to do this. Getting ahead of myself a little bit here on my overall thoughts. Like, I am very interested in Marvel Studios, whether it's studios, animation, or TV. And also there's the Marvel, what's it called? Marvel, what was Echo? Spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
Spotlight, the Marvel Spotlight series. That seems like overbranding that they might be like backing off from. This seems clean. The animation TV and animation television studios, that all makes sense. But I feel like they were saying, hey, we're going to back off of some releases in the investor meetings and all of that. Clearly you see that on the movie side of things. But on the Disney Plus side, this is wild. Like, there's so many projects coming out next year that they are dating. But also a lot of these we've known have been being worked on for a long time. So I think that we actually will see these products next year. And I wonder where they're going to fall is it going to be more on the them kind of figuring out their next steps with the MCU, with the multiverse shenanigans, or is it going to be kind of more interwoven with actually telling part of that story? Because a big part of me feels like, and it's not rocket science here, but I do think that Daredevil Born Again, specifically with the reboot of what that project is going to be our first real hint at Marvel like cracking the whip and getting back on track with Fantastic Four. First steps being their real major movie, first steps towards building Secret Wars story, and hopefully having every single one of those movies be of consequence, whether it's Spider-Man, which is now rumored to be Brand New Day, or Doctor Strange 3, which hasn't been announced, but I think will be called eventually Doctor Strange Time Runs Out, to lead into Secret Wars with Doomsday in there too. They could do that. They could pull that off, and I believe in it. We have Captain America before that. We have Thunderbolts before that. We'll see where those go, but I don't have the highest faith in those tying in. I hope they're good, though. But Eyes of Wakanda, interesting. It's a animated project. This is part of Ryan Coogler's big take it on multiple Wakanda projects that they talked about years ago at this point. If I remember correctly, this is going to be a 4-episode event series. So I think it's is it 4 or 6? I think it's 4. So going through like generations of Wakanda and taking like different like timeline things, which or not timeline, but
4
different
episodes,
parts of a timeline. Four episodes. Yeah. So cool. I like that. This seems a little bit more lore heavy. Which I love that we're at a point that we can do things like this, but
I feel like this is like kind of like a dark horse in my mind. It's like almost Tales of the Jedi. Like I don't know. This is
100%.
This stuff is like important, specifically like Wakanda and Black Panther is just like you need more supplemental material because there is an entire world, almost universe. It feels like in Wakanda. So I'm hella excited for this one.
Yeah, no, you bringing up Tales of the Jedi, I think is a really, really apt comparison. Like that's what I expect from this, which is high quality, right? Like they didn't all hit, but when they did, it was good.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, and then Marvel Zombies, October 2025. This is another one that is very interesting because this is going to be a follow-up to the season 1 episode of What If, with kind of following that plot that they set up for what I feel like was one of the more well-received episodes of that season. I don't think it was my personal favorite, but I'm a big fan of the Marvel Zombies comic line because I'm a child of the 2000s or a teen of the 2000s. And the adaptation wasn't really direct, but they had enough little nods here and there. This is another one that is interesting for a couple of reasons. They're positioning this as an event series. I think it's also 4 episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if they all drop at once as just like almost like a movie event. And the extra cool thing, TVMA. So they're really pushing the boundaries with this one. And it's going to be their first, like, essentially R-rated animated project.
Is Daredevil also TVMA?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And then Wonder Man, December 2025. This is wild because we've known this was being worked on forever. But for it to be officially announced this way is pretty cool. So far out, over a year away, and they're already dating this. The little bit we saw here, I'm loving the vibes. I don't know much about Wonder Man as a comic or character. I know his name's Simon, and he's an actor, and that came across here. I love that they're teaming him up. It seems like he's doing auditions, but they're teaming him up with Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3, who was like, the fake Mandarin, and then, of course, Shang-Chi as well. So love seeing him back. I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. I am interested, though, in how this ties in to what we have building here, because I don't want to get too spoilery on this, and I won't, but we have on the TV series, there's a very clear show of and spinoff thing happening with WandaVision, which had the spinoff Agatha All Along. This also seems to be a spinoff in that realm, but I wonder how they're going to connect it all, because this clearly is taking place in Los Angeles, which is very far from that. But from what I know of the comics, Wonder Man and Wanda and Vision and them are completely connected. So we'll get there somehow. And then I imagine we're also going to get more spin-off shows based on how Agatha All Along is going so far. So yeah, we'll see how that all kind of shakes out and connects. But then that's it. So that's all that they announced. I mean, that's all. It's so much. That's so much more release dates than I expected. Love the little hype thing of them flipping through all of those. I want to take a real quick word from our sponsors, but when we get back, I want Roger's just top level thoughts on what he thinks about all of that stuff. But here's some words. Episode's brought to you by Phasmophobia. The genre-defining horror game is finally out now on consoles. Yes, that's right. The phenomenon that is Phasmophobia has finally entered console early access on PS5, PSVR 2, and Xbox Series X and S, with full cross-play support across all platforms from day one. Join the already almost 20 million players on Steam, including our very own Snowbike Mike, and get ready for some spine-chilling ghost hunting with up to 3 friends. Experience the horror as you investigate immersive haunted locations and gather evidence to help you succeed. With several different ghost types and unique traits, no ghost hunt is ever the same. Making sure you work as a team and utilize your equipment is the key to making it out alive. It's time, Ghost Hunters. Phasmophobia is out now on PS5, PSVR 2, and Xbox Series X and S. Gather your friends and prepare for the terrifying ghost hunts that await. This episode is brought to you by New World Aeternum. New World Aeternum is a thrilling action RPG experience for console and PC players with a vibrant world, vast and beautiful setting, dynamic real-time action combat, and the freedom for players to choose how to forge their destiny. Combat is skill-based and dynamic, incorporating swords, guns, and sorcery so that you can build one character to rule them all as you explore Aeternum and unravel the mysteries of the supernatural island that you can't leave. You love playing RPGs alone? You can in New World Aeternum, or play cooperatively with your friends as you complete quests, get better gear, and level up. Greg played this at Summer Game Fest on PlayStation 5 and was caught off guard by how much he enjoyed it and how many hours he said he could see himself sinking into the final product. There's boss fights, cool enemies, crossplay, resource gathering, and crafting. So yeah, this sounds like a Greg game. New World Aeternum is available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Raj, what did you think about that little sneak peek?
Oh, I love that. I mean, it gets, I don't know if excited is the word, right? Like it's about the same excitement level that I've had for Disney Marvel stuff, which is about like lukewarm, but I like the weird swings that they're pulling, especially with Wonder Man. I mean, whatever that is, like I'm in for that. I love that pairing. I think those two actors specifically are really, we're going to be really fun. But like Eyes of Wakanda excites me, especially 4 episodes. That's going to be an easy watch right there. But yeah, no, Ironheart is like the big question mark, especially like how mystical they're getting with it. Like that's not the direction that I would necessarily go for, but if they have an idea, they have an idea, and I have seen some leaks, and I think we all know about some of those characters that they might be introducing, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, no, this is all pretty solid. I mean, Daredevil, that's gonna be the big pop. If that one hits, I think we're gonna start off the year right with Marvel. If it doesn't hit, oof, now we're gonna have a lot of issues, right?
Yeah. And I'm right there with you, man. Looking at that, like honestly, I love that they did this, and I love that we have answers for some projects that we've kind of just known have been cooking. But for me, really, it's not like I'm looking forward to the majority of those projects. I'm not counting down the days to them in the way that honestly I am Fantastic Four and Doomsday and going forward from there. Having said that, Daredevil Born Again. That's the one that's like, oh my God, please get this right. Them having the MCU connection there with Kamala's dad, I think that's important to keep it being like, yes, it's continuing the story from the Netflix ones, but it's also integrated within this the universe that we know so well. So I want that. It looks great. Bringing back John Bernthal and all of them, focusing so much on Wilson Fisk, like, what we're seeing, I'm like, there's no reason for me to believe this isn't going to be awesome. But to your point, Raj, like they need to knock this out of the park. Like it doesn't need to be the best season of Daredevil ever. It can't be the worst.
No, it has to be. We have to have that moment at the ending of like, we're back, baby. Like we fully are back. I'm just so scared of like we see the behind the scenes stuff, right? We talked a little bit about that earlier, right? Of like they filmed 9 episodes of a show that was very different, seemingly, right? Not TVMA. They were going for like a TV-14 kind of courtroom drama-esque type vibe. They scrapped that all. Now we're just going right into them being like, hey, no, we're going back to what made Daredevil popular on Netflix, right? So I'm interested to see that. I'm also interested to see like how much of the connections we have from the Netflix universe, right? Like, are we going to get a Jessica Jones? Are we going to set up that whole universe again? Because we have Punisher, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, those shows, of course, didn't hit the highs when we get to the Defenders, right? But I also know a lot of people that just turned on Netflix and watched the Defenders. Like, my dad is one of those people, right? Does not care about Marvel stuff, but like, he watched all of Defenders. Like, those are characters that people actually like and actually know of at the very least, right?
Yeah, I mean, going off of what we've heard, and also just this is more my assumptions, and let's just be real. Let's just call this what it is. A lot of it's my hope. Like, I want Marvel to get back on track. I am happier when Marvel's putting out products and projects that the majority of people are like, I'm in and I love this, because I love hanging out. I love the vibes. I love talking to people about this. And I love good things that I care about and having other people care about them. You don't need to agree with that, but that's how I live my life. And it's been kind of a bummer recently when even some of their bad projects, I still like to find the good in them. I still care about the overarching story and the lore and how things connect. And I've read comic books my entire life, and they're not always good. And there's events that are bad, and there's sometimes things don't add up, and not everything's connecting, and it's not building. It can get frustrating, and an event happens that feels very out of character, and all that stuff sucks. But once in a while, something will happen. It's like, it doesn't matter. That shit was so good. And I feel like we've had little moments like that here and there, but we need a couple more. But there's a whole preamble for me to say, I truly believe that them getting Robert Downey Jr. back, while is introducing a ton of issues and problems, I do think is them putting their foot down of like, we got to create a path. We got to get back to where things were and create a cohesive story where this is an interconnected universe. And all of that is centered around the multiverse saga. If it was a different saga and they brought back RDJ, I would be like, y'all are fucked. Like, there's no way this works. But in my opinion, at this point, people are clearly over bad multiverse movies. I think people are clearly over good multiverse movies, or at least they need to be perfect in order for them to get any sort of like real buzz that's not met with a month later, like, like I want street level, I want whatever. Like, I want that shit too. But we're in the multiverse saga, so let's make the most of it possible. So what that means is, yes, Toby. Yes, Andrew Garfield. This is the time for that. Robert Downey Jr. is a variant. That makes sense only now. It would not make sense later. But on top of that, in terms of Daredevil, make this the same universe. Make this as close to the same universe as possible. It could be a slight variant, whatever, so you can change some things if you need to, or like fix problems that it has. That's fine. People want to see the actors and characters from those movies or shows in this universe. So to me, that's the thing of these rewrites and reboot. I think it's a good thing. And I think that is hopefully them getting everything aligned to, from here on out, hey, y'all, this is multiverse time. And let's milk this in the right way, get all the right juice out of it so that we can then clean sweep, move on, get to the mutants.
So I'm just confused about the lore stuff. And of course, you know more than I do, right? Like, the original Netflix universe, that was supposed to be the MCU universe. Is that not the case anymore? Had they retconned that? What are we doing here?
So here's the thing.
Yeah, because he was in Hawkeye, right? Kingpin, he was also Echo, right?
Yes.
So is that a different one, or yeah?
So there's some things here that we're filling in blanks because we don't actually know. But in terms of the facts, Kevin Feige was in charge of Marvel Studios, right? But he wasn't always the chief guy in charge. There was this other guy,
Perlman, right?
There's Perlman, and then there's I forget how to say his last name. But there was other people in charge because there's also the Sony side of things causing problems. And there was the big push into TV, and creative decisions were being made, and it was kind of just like a more, let's get this going. So it was best intentions to ride the high of Avengers 1, and how big everything was there, and kind of making everything aligned. Because remember, even Avengers 1 was a Paramount movie. Like Disney came in later, and things get complicated there. But like, there was complications. That's really the important part. So while they were like, oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon or whatever, and they tried to connect it, and there were things that like you can point to and be like, well, that is canon because this thing happened or whatever. Clearly, Kevin Feige and them were like, it's not. And with Daredevil and all that, they alluded to the battle of New York and like things like that. Like there's definitely stuff that like it never got in the way of those things happening, but like, kind of like left it up to if you want it to be or not because it wasn't tight enough. I think that clearly Kevin Feige and them were like, no, they're different. They're at a certain point like they're totally separate. But then I think that now out of desperation, it's like, oh, people actually want them to be included and we can make it make sense. So now they're kind of making that work, which I think is the right call.
Yeah. But so I didn't watch She-Hulk and I did not watch Echo. There hasn't been anything that like clearly is like, no, this is a different universe, right?
I mean, there's always little things, but even within the MCU, there's little things. You're like, well, what? Like, I would say broad strokes, they've kept in line of like, this makes sense. Did you watch Hawkeye?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I mean, in Hawkeye, like Fisk is like a lot stronger than he was in the other show.
A lot more cartoony.
Like, yeah, big, whatever. But it's like that could also just be like a stylistic take in the way that like Thor acts a little different depending on who's directing the movie or whatever. Sure. So all that stuff is, I think that they can ride around. And I also think that, like I was saying earlier, like it's really easy for them to just be like, oh, they're from a very similar timeline. Like most of the things happen the same, and imagine they did until we tell you otherwise. And like, unfortunately, we're just at a point that not only are we 35 movies into this, 10 plus shows into this, we're also now including all the X-Men movies, all the old Daredevil movies, like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like there's the sacred timeline, but at this point, everything is canon to the MCU. It's just a multiverse, and like that's fine. It's just that gets messy, and we need to kind of suspend even more disbelief. So I'm hoping that they get it online. I believe that they will. I really do, and I think Daredevil is going to be a major step in that. Raj, let's go through just a couple of the visuals real quick. Daredevil, I don't think we need to look at. It looks fucking awesome. Like, I do love them using the framing of this TVA to kind of like show.
I believe that's White Tiger in the corner, though, if you want to look right there, right? Is that right there, the white mask?
Oh, is that?
Yeah, let me do the thing so you can preview. Oh, wait, nope. It's broken. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, they were in the Daredevil trailer from Comic-Con as well. That leaked.
Gotcha.
I don't think that was I don't think that officially came out.
Cool. Let me keep on going. Okay, so we have that. Let me know when to stop.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of little fun stuff here. God, he's so good.
Yeah, looking like The Weeknd.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. So that shot of Spidey, I'm kind of into.
Yeah.
We got a MCU inspired outfit here, right? The with the look of the eyes. And
Let's talk really quick. This is a multiverse thing, right? Like this is not the same universe. I remember there was the thing when they initially announced it was like, oh, this is actually his freshman year or whatever.
Yeah, but then they immediately were like, well, actually, I feel like even then it was clear it wasn't because Norman Osborn was like in the place of Tony Stark in that. But yeah, whatever the show's going to be, I think is going to be incredibly different than what was originally shown. Yeah, I don't hate this. I don't love it either, but
sorry, the button's not working. Let me. Okay, I assume that's White Tiger.
No, this is I'm not that familiar with Daredevil villains. We know who this is though.
Okay, is this? That's not Han Solo, right?
Oh wait, it is, right?
I think
Alden,
so, right?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it's Ironheart. I think he's an Ironheart.
Okay, cool.
I remember reading that on
a little bit of Ironheart right there.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, like it looks great, right?
Yeah.
Like thinking about like this for a Disney Plus show, like good on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Go right here. Oh. Like space stuff, aliens. I wonder what show that is.
There's like Dr. Manhattan on the left, but it's not.
Yeah, on the right, I thought that was Avatar, but I don't think it is either.
Love it.
Vanessa's back.
Oh my God, with the blood splatter. Interesting. Yeah, man, there's just so much in this.
Daredevil.
I love the look of Deadpool or of Daredevil here. Like just the coloring and stuff of it. Like this feels a bit more inspired, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, God, John Bernthal back. How lucky are we?
I know. What a good universe.
And yeah, the idea of Fisk running for mayor, like that's good stuff. Nunchucks.
Finding a diner. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, so now we've seen Daredevil in 3 different MCU projects because we had him in No Way Home, we had him in She-Hulk, and then Echo.
Damn. Oh, is that? That's not.
That's John Bernthal.
Oh, damn.
Right?
I think so. I thought that was Foggy for a second.
Oh, for tossing him? Yeah, maybe that's not John Bernthal. But yeah, that's definitely Kamala's dad, though.
Yeah, which is awesome. I wonder if that's going to be the only one of the few connections to the MCU, or they're going to have a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's interesting too because that actor has been going through some real bad controversy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Raj, I hate this.
Damn.
Like this looks.
Oh,
also that kid is dead.
Yeah, that kid is fucking dead, bro.
Let's get the read from Barrett on this.
Yeah, like very first impressions, I've only ever seen like just the frames here. It's giving very GameCube era, PS2 era Spider-Man game, like Ultimate Spider-Man on the GameCube.
Dude, that's
you know?
good though.
Yeah, but like,
fuck yeah.
if you look back at that game, like in the moment, like when that game came out, like hell yeah, that looked great. But like, if you look back at it, you're like, oh man, yeah, this has not aged well.
Oh,
and it's also 20 years ago. You know, that's crazy.
That's true. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the greatest thing in the world, but I'm not mad at this. I would take this over any generic CG. At least it's stylized. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
has something going on here.
I get you. I mean, here's my thing. And look, I'm gonna watch this show, and Spider-Man is my favorite of these characters, and I love the Spider-Man shows, unless they're really not good. And I will give up on them. I gave up on Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I'm okay with that. There's something about this though that like I just don't have much faith in it. Like, not only do I not like the look of it, even just the type of story that they're telling from what we hear, and just how empty this all looks. It's not adding up to me. But we'll find out very soon if it's worth it. And I'd be very disappointed if this era of Marvel's first step for a Marvel animation project, and if they put out a Spider-Man that's not great, that's gonna be really a real bummer. Because they had some magic on their hands. Of course, Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't need to talk about it anymore. But yeah, we'll see. But I also was incredibly concerned about X-Men 97. I thought that there was no chance that they would pull that off. And admittedly, I was so wrong. And I think X-Men 97 is top tier of any of this stuff.
Yeah. Ironheart, baby.
I feel like Ironheart, I mean, we're getting real ahead of ourselves here, but I think that this one probably has the highest mountain to climb in terms of pleasing people, because it's going to be directly comparable to Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tony Stark's, Robert Downey Jr.'s shoes are very, very big to fill, right?
Yeah.
And amongst a million other reasons, including a minority woman lead.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be tough.
It really is.
But I want to believe.
I loved her vibe in Wakanda Forever. I think it was just like kind of a little shoehorned in, like a very busy movie. So I'm kind of excited to see like, hey, like is she able to like hold her own in a series? I think so, but yeah, this is gonna be a tough one to do.
Yeah, and then what if season 3? So can you pause on that?
So we have I don't know.
We have Coulson, Agent Coulson there on the second from the left.
I think it's a Kree soldier. Those are Kree soldiers.
Scrolls. Yeah, we got Scrolls, Coulson, and Fury, it looks like. Don't know who that is. We got a dark elf from Thor the Dark World. I mean, and then let's fucking go. I mean, yes.
Sick.
Give me, why not? This is a perfect what if. All right, and then we got the zombies. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. We got Yelena here. Go back a bit though. There's been rumors that Mahershala Ali's Blade is in this, and then Mahershala Ali is voicing him.
No shot.
And I'm pretty sure I saw him when we were first watching it. Let's start from the beginning of the zombie bit there. Yeah, right there.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. I mean, he has the sword. He's wearing white, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Also, wouldn't that just be something that they show in the show? Like, that wouldn't be something they tease in a trailer. I feel like that's a huge pop.
Yeah, but I think
a Winter Soldier.
I feel like What If needs a huge pop to get people to be like, oh, I still care about this, you know? I also am very not familiar with Blade comics and stuff, but I do know that there are certain times, like because I've seen covers where he is wearing white and he's a different character. So maybe that's what they're doing there, but
that's crazy.
Could be wrong.
Cool.
I've seen a lot of that stuff. Cool. Yeah, dude. Besides Daredevil of the live action stuff, I think I am most interested in this.
Yeah.
Just because I like when things are different. Like She-Hulk, a lot of people hate on it. I really enjoyed that show because of how different it was and how every episode just felt like its own little sitcom. Like, oh my God. What a great shot. Him setting up the ring light and hitting record. Like, we have all been there, Roger.
It's so good.
But yeah, what the hell is this show going to be?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know what his powers are, if he has any. It's fun though.
Yeah. Okay. Wilshire Boulevard. So yeah, it's definitely LA.
It looks good.
See, yeah. Okay. Look, this art style, I'm like, all right, I can get behind this.
Yeah, it's like What If, but even more stylized.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting Prince of Persia Lost Crown vibes from this too.
Absolutely.
I like the characters like faces being very like I don't even know what the words. They all look like different shapes, which I know everything does, but like this very much, it's like, you know, the angles matter a lot.
I probably made this up. But this is not like Visions, right? Like Star Wars Visions, right? Where like every episode's like a different art style. I don't know why.
I don't think we know.
Okay.
I mean, this is the first we've really heard or seen like official stuff from it. So besides when they first announced Coogler's doing a bunch of stuff, but we do know that it's going to be across different generations of Wakanda. So that's cool. That is cool.
Yeah. Damn. Seems like the person on the left dies over here. That's crazy.
Damn. Oh, dang.
That's crazy.
Tough.
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Hell yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah. And then we just kind of get through all the money stuff. But yeah, so many release dates. Pretty cool. I mean, dude, we have a year ahead of us for sure. And this isn't even including, there he is.
Fuck yeah.
This isn't even including Captain America in February and then Thunderbolts in May. So so we'll see. And then Fantastic Four in July. I'm still feeling a little iffy about that just because we have Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World Rebirth all slated for July. That just seems like
who moves first? Who's moving?
That's the question,
Jurassic Park has to move, right? I don't foresee that happening that month.
The thing about Jurassic Park is like that's the type of franchise that I feel like they don't need to worry about anybody. They put the movie out, just going to do well.
I just think that movie's just going to get delayed in general. I mean, like I feel like I don't think they've even started shooting.
I think they have.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's a well into post production, but
wow, really?
I'm not keeping up with with the Jurassic World Rebirth. Like why are we rebirthing it so soon? And the answer is money. But I'm more interested in. It sounds like Superman is like essentially done. Like all signs point to getting the Superman trailer around Christmas.
They just wrapped filming on Rebirth.
Okay, cool. And then Fantastic Four, that's the bigger one where I'm just like, I keep hearing conflicting things about how far it is into production and how they're feeling, but like they know how important this shit is.
Yeah.
And their November slot did just open up because they officially took Blade off of the release calendar. So they could potentially just miss that July, but that sounds wild.
Yeah.
And then they have Avatar in December. So.
Oh, damn. Avatar's next year?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
We're eating, bro.
We're eating, baby. I didn't even talk about Karate Kid. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us as I reacted to this. Thank you, Roger, for running this and talking MCU with me. If you are still hanging in there with the MCU, or even if you're not, guess what? MCU in Review returns this Friday with Agatha All Along in review. Me, Greg, Nick, Andy, giving all of our thoughts on the show. I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to talk about it with some people. But let us know in the comments below if you watched it, if you're planning on watching it. Otherwise, I love you all. Have a marvelous day.